go. Let's see. Is speech chat working? Yes, it is. Oh, Tim rolling in quick.
What?
Tim took the top spot again today.
Oh, I thought you said iPhone 10 rolling quick. What the fuck are you going on?
You don't want an iPhone 10? Fuck all that. F Mondays. No F Mondays.
My iPhone 10.
Mondays are fun. That's when all the mailing comes in, except that'll be tomorrow. It'll be Tuesday since today is a holiday. And we'll get swamped with mailing tomorrow.
Mail time.
Today is Catch Up Mondays.
Catch up your mom Monday.
What's up, Wayne?
Wayne, the
What's
man
going on,
behind
Alex? Fresh from the ashes. How you doing? Greg? Marway? Timmy? Timothy?
Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner. Alright, so first thing we're doing today, and I bet you all can't guess what it is. It's a 6 Plus, and it has touch IC problems. Yay. I've also got one that came in that we fixed a while back, and supposedly the Wi-Fi and the front camera aren't working now, so I have to take a look at that one. Taking a break from your first iPhone 6 Plus Touch IC? Well, you can brush up on it right here. How about that? Here's the mail, it never fails.
It makes me wanna wag my tail when it comes to one well smile.
Gobble gobble day here in Canada.
Canada.
It's Columbus Day here. Columbus.
He is a rapist and a murderer.
A rapist and a murderer that we celebrate. Yay! You found America and killed off the indigenous people. Yay!
Get them away, you damn firewater drinkers.
Actually, Columbus wasn't the first to discover America.
Your mom was.
My mom was. My mom discovered America. Is the audio clipping?
The mama said.
I don't know. Maybe. My mama said. Problems with the mic? Unplugging the mic. Indigenous People Day. That's a better day. I like that day. Little Pops doesn't sound like clipping. I don't know. This is what happens when you spend $20 on all your equipment. Now we spent a little more than $20, but not much. I didn't put a whole lot of money into audio, video, like Lewis does. We spent money on the camera for the microscope, though. It seems to be paying off. It looks much better. Not great quality video? Yeah, it's not. It's 720p. What can you do? What can you do? What's up, Handy? Alright, so let's take off our Mason chip. $90 wireless mic? Yeah. I should probably get one. This one's done pretty well, though. I can't complain for the $30 or whatever it was. It's better than recording off of the built-in microphone that was on my laptop. A lot of the noise that you all hear is usually created from whatever's around me.
Usually created by Micah.
Usually Micah. That's what you have to deal with daily when you work with Micah. Do I know if the 6S Wi-Fi chip is programmed to the board? Yes, it is. The MAC address on the Wi-Fi chip is programmed to the chip itself. Can you change that? I do not think so.
That one phone doesn't come up with that Wi-Fi address.
Which one?
That one that I was telling you about, the late driving.
Oh, yeah, it probably just died. They're not tied to it on the 6 Plus, only on the 6S.
Oh, okay.
He sounds constipated, Micah. Yeah, he is.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, zombie.
Jessa has great quality video. What's the difference? I'm not Jessa.
He's not Jessa, and he's not Jessa.
Jessa has mostly her face and a big giant fucking blue screen or green screen. No, she does live streams.
Oh. I thought she stopped that and started doing just pre-recorded.
No, that was Lewis, but he's back to doing live stream too. Wayne spelled your name Mitcha again.
God damn, can they not spell?
You want to know a secret?
What's the secret?
What's up, Freddie? Did I say I hated you yet? No, Anthony, you sent us easy stuff this time. Last time you sent us fucking nightmares.
I fucking hate it. Can't even spell right. Goddamn illiterate bastard. Hey, is this Madeline?
Yes,
Alright.
that's Anthony's.
Oh, it's in. Oh.
It's Anthony's iPad.
Alright, well,
We got more iPads to take
I'm gonna
apart.
sit right there in the seat right there for you.
You want to take more? Actually, call the people in that 7 Plus. Just tell them we'll have to wait for new cameras to come in.
Alright.
Yeah, I already did the Motorola charging port earlier. It's done. It charges. I fixed the fucking hole in the board too. Note to your whoever did that. If you pull a pad, don't start digging. It doesn't end well. Luckily, we got it fixed though.
I was giving you a call back on a iPhone 7 Plus that's here.
Quit
Okay.
singing, get my hair cut.
Chris
Or Micah.
was messing with it whenever you came in here, and he messed with it a little more. He had to order actually another front flex. The one we had here was new, but it still didn't function correctly. Everything's working on the phone except for the ambient light sensor, which is what makes the phone turn off, like whenever
Proximity.
you put it up to your ear or anything like that. You know, while you're making a call, and that's the only issue right now. And we'll fix that as soon as we get that part in. We just had to order that part. But other than that, it could take up to 3 to 5 business days. Yeah, but no. Well, the phone's still good to pick up and be able to be used. What we're saying is he can go ahead and pick it up, and pay for it, and then whenever the part comes in, he can just bring it in, and we can, replace that part for it. That's no problem. Bye.
Proximity sensor, bro.
Ambient light, proximity, where are the phones?
It's 2 different things.
I'll give you 2 different things, Chris.
The ambient light changes how bright the screen is.
I'll change how bright your mama gets.
Lewis hasn't been streaming much lately? Yeah.
No, I'm just going to say, I'm going to look at this one and see why.
What's up, here? You started digging because it fixed the tablet? The slow touch audio issues. I downgraded it to 10.3 and it fixed it. And we didn't update it again. because the customer said he wanted to downgrade it and leave it at that so he could use his phone. I really don't know what was causing it because it worked perfectly fine on 10.3. It was only on iOS 11 that the audio would no longer work and the touch was really slow. When we downgraded to 10.3, it worked perfectly fine. So I don't know. Vibrator wire? Yes, you can. The vibrate wire is actually probably thinner than what I'm using, so it'll give you a little more space to work with. I'm trying to get enough solder on this pad to make sure it's a good connection. There we go. Alright. Can it be downgraded now? No. It can't be downgraded anymore. Mic's cracking. I have no idea what to do about it. Sorry. 11.03 is out now. For him, I don't know if I would suggest updating or not. Well, I've unplugged it and plugged it back in, so I don't think unplugging and plugging it back in is going to fix it again. We might just have to live with cracking audio. I would guess it's most likely the I pulled off the adjacent pad. Hopefully that's not necessary. Let's see. It's probably NC based on how it looks. Boop, 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 boop. iPhone 6 Plus. Let's see if the pad that came off is NC. T-top, that was an OEM refurb screen on that phone. So if putting an OEM screen on it would be the fix, I don't know why it wouldn't be fixed. Alright, L2 is NC, so that pad doesn't matter. So screw that pad. We're leaving it off. How do they even do that? I imagine only unsigned to work on devices that support 11. What are you talking about? Yeah, they have servers that tell which phone can get which firmware. Anytime you restore a phone, it talks to Apple's server first. I'm not sure, man. The one that I had, T-top, was just, it didn't want to, like, nothing we did changed how it acted on iOS 11. It only was fixed once we downgraded it. So, I don't know. I can confirm that if you use a, if the flex, the front camera flex is damaged in any way, the phone won't boot up. It'll just loop. There's two in that box on the floor.
Alright.
Just take them both apart. Only one worked. We tried like 20 new front camera flexes. Yes, anytime you do a firmware upgrade, it contacts Apple servers. That's how they were bypassing iCloud for a while. They figured out that iTunes didn't have any security measures as far as like the iCloud verification. So they would redirect the iCloud verification server to a dummy address that always gave the OK that it was clear and would allow you to set the phone up. That's why some phones later on, whenever they would do like a restore or something, the phone would all of a sudden have an iCloud account on it because they were activated through a dummy account prior to it being patched in the iTunes updates. They've done that a few times, actually. I think they used to do it for activation, too. If I came by another one today, I would tell them to take it to Apple. I'd be like, this is an issue that's not going to be solved by anything I can do. iPad Air 2 screens are going up to $215. Oh my god. Woo! I got about 5 good screens back there with cracked glass. I need to get them refurbed. Can Micah solder? Yeah, he can. Micah does TriStars on 5S's. What'd you do the other day?
I did a VCC main short.
Yeah, he did his first VCC main short repair. We got another one today. It supposedly has some type of short on it. I don't know. What's up, Shrimply? Alright. So that is fixed. No problem, T-Top. Sorry I couldn't be more help. Unfortunately, sometimes you just have to call it. Like, I have some phones that I'll tell the customer, I'm like, if I don't think I can fix it to a substantial point to where I feel like it's good enough to pass as like a quality phone, like if I don't feel like the repair is going to hold up, or I just feel like there's too much that has to be repaired, I just tell them go to Apple. I mean, it sucks not being able to fix the phone, but it's better for the customer than it is for me to make money. I'm not worried about making money on that situation because most of those phones they'll end up being a headache for you. iPhone 6 LCD OEM 30 screen. I think that's what I'm paying now anyway. What's up, Hamdit? What did you miss? You haven't missed anything yet. I'm doing Touch IC. It's about like watching paint dry at this point. We have a couple interesting phones. Supposedly one that's burning up LCD panels. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. I don't think I've ever seen one that burns up the LCD panel. You're paying 22 about 3 weeks ago. Everything kind of jumps up in price around the Chinese holidays because supply drops down for a while. Did I try the NAND reader? On what? I still haven't gotten my reader back for my UFS. I've called them. They don't have a message thing set up. I'm going to call them again here in a little bit and then get that back. They said that it's working fine, but I asked them to send me a chip that was confirmed readable to confirm that my reader was actually working. What's up, Paul? I don't know. I'm pretty unhappy with that whole situation. Like, I've got people waiting on it, and the amount of money put into it just to read pretty much 2 generations of Samsungs, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do so far, so haven't been overly pleased with that. Little upset with it. Yeah, stream audio is cracking for everybody. I don't know how to fix it. I'll unplug the mic again and redo it. We'll see. Hold on.
Hang up when you pull the power.
What's that one?
It's a mini, is one that's in this box over here.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
I can't remember. It's one like he sent in. He said you can use the other one, the parts from the other one to fix this one. I'm gonna read it again. I forget. We part of this iPad since the customer never wanted to get fixed. The original issue, no power. It has possible iCloud.
No power possible iCloud?
Yeah, that's what it says.
More than likely it's PMIC, because that's what all the iPad minis are.
I know. That's what it is, the iPad mini.
99.9% of all iPad minis with no power are because PMIC is bad. Nah, this one's plugged into USB. Is it any better, or is it still the same? Probably still the same. Doesn't work for S7, no. It does not. Yeah, iPhone 8 does require a new NAND reader. Yeah, Stellar, the S7 has default encryption on the OS. You actually have to go in and turn it off. On the older ones, you had to opt to have it on. Still clipping. It's most likely got to be from the fans. Let's see if I can move the mic. If that helps. Alright, is that any better? Any better, any worse? Fix it? Cool. Paul, I think you asked about the reader. The new prog was 900 and the socket was 300, plus the other socket I bought was 200. Okay. It's not clipping on my end. I don't know why it's doing that. Like on my screen, it shows me when it clips, and it's staying in the green. So I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so let's put this chip back on. I can try turning down the gain some more. Alright. I'm going to turn the sound to negative 10 dB, so we'll see. Alright, so let's put that chip back on. Sorry about that. I was answering questions on Facebook. Bookface. Kind of concerning how far that chip had to move over. Hopefully it's not bridged. What's up, UK Rules? How you doing?
Hey.
You doing okay?
Yeah, we got him.
The 8700, yeah.
Uh-huh. What is it now? On iPod 5? No, you don't have to separate the glass. iPad 5 or iPod? I don't think there is an iPad.
Yeah,
5.
there is.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a new one.
It's the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I never opened one.
It's just
before.
like an iPad Air.
It's
Air 1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're gonna replace the screen, then the whole thing has to be replaced. The LCD and everything.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, does it?
Who is that?
That's Dave.
No, it's a separate glass.
Chris is saying it's separate on those.
On the iPad 5s, it's separate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same exact screen, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I never opened one before. Oh, okay. Well, if you pull the dish out, then you know. Oh. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, okay. It's the same digitizer as the Air 1.
Chris is saying it's the same digitizer as the Air 1.
Different LCD.
Different LCD, but the digitizer is the same as the Air 1.
Alright, so touch is working. We'll get it in here a little closer if we can.
Yeah, you can move the home button. It's just real sensitive, and if you rip it, then.
So that one's all good. What camera am I using on the microscope and what type of lens? The camera is a autofocus from AMTECH. It's got a 0.37
No problem. Bye.
lens on it. It kind of makes a halo effect when you're zoomed out,
Nobody asked me if they were assembly.
especially on shiny parts. I tried to use the normal 0.5, I think, or whatever it was.
Don't do this to me.
That one wouldn't work because the viewing area was so much smaller. So what you all could see wasn't anything close to what I could see. So kind of had to go with what I had. I know it's not perfect, but that's why if you watch Jess's stream, it tends to be that she works out of the viewing area. And that's because what we see and what you see is completely different. The reduction lens I have on there is made it better, but it's still not perfect. I don't know of much way to make it better, honestly. I could possibly take off the Barlow and go to a different Barlow on my view. Maybe that would help, I'm not sure. Somebody that likes calculating focal lengths can go ahead and do that one for me. How to get close to a 1-to-1 without having a obscure fisheye view, which is what you all get like under the scope, you kind of get like this halo effect. But if I zoom in on stuff, it doesn't have it as much. I don't understand why they can't get a one-to-one view, honestly. The optics inside the camera should be able to do that. Or not the camera, inside the head. If you use the iPad 5 LCD with the Air 1, it's supposed to be more brilliant. Is it like a brighter display, I guess?
You can see how we help you.
Does it have more
Yeah.
lumens or something?
For an iPhone 7?
My eyepieces, yeah, they're 10 by 20s.
Do you have a 7 or a 7 Plus?
10 by 20.
Just a regular 7?
Wide field,
we
10
have
by 20.
two different options. We have an aftermarket screen. We have those for 120, and then we have OEM original screens for 140. Not a problem. Fine.
With the eyepieces being changed help that, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. I just fixed the phones, man. I don't know what this is.
See how we help you. Which one was it now?
20 by
6 plus?
15.
Okay, we still haven't had a chance to look at that one just yet.
Nope. Instant drop off doesn't
Okay.
equal instant look.
Not a problem. Bye.
I dropped it off 5 minutes ago. Is it done yet?
That's
I know.
yeah.
It's not instant world, unfortunately. Wish it was. Shabba-da, sabba-da.
An airplane, it's a wax off a mystery. Oh, rewrite history. Oh, duck tits. Woo!
You can get a 0.1 to 2x Barlow for the camera. Where? You talking about the slide piece thing? Oh, this thing is not a Barlow though. It's just a slide piece. It's more for focus. Point 1 gives you a wider field of view. But like I said, when you go that wide, it gets like this fisheye effect to it. I don't know. I contacted AMTECH and they said the only thing that they sold was a 0.5. So I went to a different company that sells a 0.37 C-type adapter for the camera. And this is what I've got. This is where we are. Micah should sing us some Tenacious D.
God damn it! If I could remember how it went, that exploder or where it is line, I would have done it. I did not mean. No. My voice is fucking powerful.
Micah,
What?
calm down. I wish you were there. C-mount. That's fancy. I'm gonna have to pick that up. Although it's got threads on the bottom, I don't know how that would work. Is that thread directly in, maybe? No, this is bolted in.
Hey there.
Hey there.
Be right with you.
No problem.
Candle.
There we go. All right. Can I help you there, sir?
I don't know if the screen can be replaced or not. Power comes on,
LG.
but-
Yeah, we'll probably have to replace the whole assembly. Let's see here. All of this.
G5, I think.
G5. Let me see how much one of those costs. My phone.
I think the screen was $85, but the person at the store told me that the touch system may be damaged.
That's all part of the screen assembly.
Is it? Okay.
LG G5. The A5, and that would include labor. If we one, we'd have to order though.
Okay, that's no problem. So you think that would reconcile the problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's far better than the 258 Verizon we pay from your phone.
Woo!
So, all right. So what do we need to do? Keep the phone in with the charging cable?
I don't need the charging cable. I can go ahead and order the screen if you want to, and you don't have to put anything down if you just want to fill out a form there, and I'll go ahead and get it ordered for you.
Okay.
And then I can give you a call as soon as it gets in here, and I put it on there for you.
All right. In my office phone, since I know I'm going to log it from there.
Okay.
Won't read some water damage.
You need the keyboard passcode?
Yep. Well, we can test everything once we get the screen on there.
You can leave the device with you. Begin. Is the 7th, 8th, 9th?
Yes, sir. Looks like I can have the screen here by October 16th.
Okay. So we have to do
You can get it through mobile centrics faster.
Oh,
than-
can we?
Yeah.
Can we? Alright, I didn't know if we can get those from Mobile Centrics or.
Yeah,
No, okay. Well, thank you, Chris, for informing me.
no problem. Glad I could inform you.
Thank you for informing me, Chris. I don't see LG on the other parts. Other. Okay. G5. Was there anything else we need from Mobile Centrics? Or?
No. I already ordered stuff. Hopefully they'll package it together.
Okay. That's better. Check it out. All right. What shipping method do you want to do here?
Scram.
It's close, it'll be 2 days anyways.
Maybe not.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll combine them. It's whatever. It's whatever. Just go ahead.
Okay. PayPal.
Mm-hmm. He's good to go.
All right, you're good to go, sir.
Awesome, thank you.
Not a
Appreciate
problem.
it. Have a
We'll
good
give you a
day.
call.
All right, thank you.
You need to turn the. Is the preheater on?
No, I don't think so. I'll go
Just whenever.
just whenever I feel like.
Whenever you get a chance.
Whenever I feel like.
What's up, Spectre?
Spectre.
Samsung board, yeah, it's a Note 5. Looks like it's got some water damage up at the top. I'm just gonna hold it in the ultrasonic on the top side and see if I can get the SIM card reading again.
Alright, it's been ordered.
Alright, so let's look at this iPhone 6 that is supposedly burning up LCDs. And let's see what's going on with it. I don't think I've ever heard of one burning up LCDs. Has anybody ever heard of one burn up LCDs? Ever seen one do that?
I have.
I mean, I guess it's possible if it was pushing too much voltage, but I wouldn't think it would be.
Burning down the LCD.
Yeah, burning down the LCD. Alright, let's see what it does. Once we get some power flowing to it. It has image. It has lines in the image. It's got like a checkered pattern across the screen, so let's see, this is a multi-branded screen evidently. Looks like possibly Mobile Centrics. It also has stickers from somebody else. I don't know who this is from. It's a copy screen though. Is that Hot Melt or? Yeah, Hot Melt copy screen. Alright, so let's take a gander. Oh, we got a piece of metal sitting next to the connector here. It's always a bad start. Don't want that. So let's do some diode testing of the LCD connector here. Let me grab my LCD diode readings that I have written down, hopefully for the 6th. I need to do that. It's something very helpful if you all want something that's easy to help you out with. Write down diode readings for different phones. Yeah, I don't have them written down. Wish I did. Let's see if there's any obvious glaring problems here. Okay, so the second pin's reading ground. I don't think that's correct. Let's see. Alright, so the second pin, no, it is supposed to be ground, okay. So 1V8 is the first one. Let's grab a parts board and compare the diode reading. Hopefully one I haven't molested too much. The less destroyed, the better.
What was the issues with this one?
Charge port, I think is what it said.
Right.
Let's grab a different board and see. ZXW needs to get on this shit. Yeah. ZXW has the ratings. Let's see. They have the resistance values. Oh, they have them written on there actually. Is that resistance or diode? It looks like diode actually. Although as soon as I click anywhere, it fucking disappears. Oh yeah, it does have them. So I'll switch you over so you can see it. You can see in pink it has the diode reading there. Alright, so that should be about 310. We're getting 284, that's close enough. Let's see. -7 negative. We want positive. There we go. Supposed to be 480-ish. That's right. That's no problem. From the ashes, I appreciate any viewers you all give me. When people are actually in here and like watch the content, it's much more worth it than just sitting here doing it by myself. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a screen and test this out. What are you yelling for, Micah? Why are you yelling about your nose, Micah? Alright, so let's plug in a new refurbished screen here. See what we get. Micahzilla lives. Yep.
The what?
Micahzilla lives.
Zilla lives.
Yeah, because you sound like you're about to blow down a house. Alright, let's see what this one looks like. It took a long time to boot. And screen shut off. Why'd the screen shut off? So now it's booting. Let's see what it does. Seems like it has iOS 11 on it. The way it's booting up, it turned off and turned back on the screen, which is signs of iOS 11. Let's see if it actually boots up or not. Yeah, booted up. Seems to be working fine.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Touch works fine. The LCD works fine.
Oh, they're just being discontinued. I don't know if I'd want maroon black.
I don't see any issue with it. Short of board, birdie out LCDs.
Yeah. If it's the same style shooting, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
I don't know. Is the XW a one-off payment for life use? No, you have to pay yearly.
That's fine. Black one's fine.
You can get it cheaper than $80. It's like $60 if you go through some of the third-party Chinese people that will refill it for you. Let me try with the battery hooked up here and see if there's any different results. A new dongle? No, you just it's like renewing a key code or something. Like I just contact the third party like in between person and I tell them I need to renew it. They ask me for the license ID or whatever. I give it to them. They tell me how much it is. I pay it and it's renewed. Alright, so this is still working. I'm not sure what problems they were having. Their screen definitely did have lines on it, but I don't know that that's caused anything by the phone itself. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a phone burn up LCDs.
Hello?
The pads project kind of sucks.
Oh, piss.
What? Like if you look at this one, it's got like this washed out look to it because it has white like scan lines all the way across.
Yeah, it's gonna be way too small. I don't either.
I mean, honestly, if you're buying ZXW and you're worried about costs, one repair will cover the cost of ZXW for the entire year. Yeah, look at the screen on this thing. It's like washed out. It's just a panel problem. This doesn't have anything to do with the board.
Do they look like mine? No, I know, but similar style.
Close this one up. I don't think there's any type of short or anything. I think we got bad panel.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just want people to shoot right now. I guess I'll wait. Alright. Yeah. I'm okay.
What the fuck is going on with the same thing?
Okay, yeah, send me a picture of it. Doc.
Screen barely even sits down in this frame. Alright. That one's gonna be sent back as try a different screen.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Can I
Pick
help
up
you?
a phone for Caleb Haynes.
Yeah,
Kill me.
7.
Yeah, the 7.
She has to lay there. If she doesn't, she's not in your way.
Oh, for you?
Thank you.
This total still right, Chris?
Yeah.
Alright, it's gonna be 167.20.
I'm not charged, will not do anything. Okay.
Just drop back, sir. Thank you. No problem. Get you to sign that. Thank you, sir. There's your receipt. Appreciate it. Not a problem.
You have a nice day.
You too, sir.
What the hell is going on here? Oh my god. The screen is like fucking stuck in the frame. It's gonna break the panel if I'm not careful. God bless. Oh, no wonder. I love this. iPhone 6s Plus. No, 6 Plus. It says will not turn on, don't know why. Won't power on or anything. I tried to open it up and there was corrosion between the screen and the SIM tray that had it held closed. Like enough that I had to break it free. Like, I'll show it under the microscope here. Like a shitting on himself right there. So, on the back of the screen, that spot there, nice corrosion spot. My finger looks weird. Was almost like rusted to the SIM tray right here, and I couldn't get it apart. I wonder why my phone won't do anything. Probably because it's been fucking sitting in water. You go to the back of the line, Mr. Water Damage. I love how customers just lie. Like, I don't know. Just stopped working. Don't know what happened. Maybe if I don't tell them what happened, they'll be able to fix it easier. If you deny what actually is going on, then that makes it okay, right? Alright, back at the pile. We're going to write on there on our notes it is liquid damaged. And back of the bus. We'll go on to other phones and we'll come back to that one. What's this one? Won't read sim. Now has occasional issues with TriStar. Call with estimate. That's an iPhone 5S, it looks like. Back of the bus. Next one. Won't do anything. iPhone 6. No video output. Seems to boot. So let's see what seems to boot means. Have water in it again? Yeah. We've had customers do that to us too. They're like, oh, you replaced my screen last week. Now it won't turn on. Open it up, there's fucking water standing in it. And then you're like, well, what about this water? Like, what water? Water? What? I think what they hope is that it dried out long enough that you won't know. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. People don't understand how long water sits in these things, though. Like, we did an iPhone 7 today that I know that guy probably tried to dry out. And we opened it up, it still had water in it. At least it happened a day ago, if not longer. But he said it got washed, but it's just a perfect example that liquid inside the phone has very little evaporation happening. So sitting there and acting like it didn't get wet doesn't do a whole lot of good. Alright, so let's see if TriStar is reacting to this thing properly. Make sure we don't have some type of TriStar shit. It's pulling a high amperage, which is incorrect. So I'm gonna hook up the battery leads. I'm gonna guess that we have some type of short or something weird is going on. I guess it'd help if I hooked up the right leads. Yeah, I think that customers think if they don't say something, then somehow we're going to miss it. Like, water damage is always obvious. Even if it's minor. If you have to pull the board, you'll see it. Alright, so we definitely have a short of some sort. We're pulling 80 milliamps, and all I've done is plug in the DC power supply. I'm now pressing the button. It does act like it's booting right now. I have an Apple logo and no backlight. So, my guess is that this is just a backlight issue, and that the higher amperage draw is most likely due to a partial short going through the backlight IC, which is pulling VCC main down a little bit, and we'll confirm that here in a second with the diode test on VCC main. But that is my bet. Could be water damage, but I don't see any signs of it, at least on the top here. And the sticker looks clean. You chucked it in silicate? Why? Pull it apart. Try to clean it.
This one's pulled apart.
Alright, so we're going to clean off our filter here. We're going to do a continuity test. Oh, looky there. So our backlight output is dead short to ground, which is probably why we have a high amp draw. So that means this board's going to have to come out, because more than likely the diode will be bad, the coil will be bad, and we will have a bad chip, and hopefully we can do it without having to replace the IC, which is doable.
Your mom's doable.
My mom's doable. She's a nice lady. Micah knows that she is a nice lady.
She's very nice and generous.
What Micah doesn't know is that's to be determined, Micah. What's the secret you don't know? Bulldozer time? Indeed, Greg. Bulldozer time. That is coming up. We're going to do the patented bulldozer through the coil. The coil most likely will have some solder splooge sticking out the side of it, or maybe some shit coming out the top of it. Those are the most common things that happen. Our diode would most likely have a hole in it and be brown. And one of the caps will be bad. Hopefully it'll stick out to us, but most likely not. Usually you have to kind of guess at them. Okay. Everybody loves the long method. Alright, so looking at the bottom, no liquid damage that I can see. There might be a little here actually. We got some rust right there. Micah, you're fucking weird.
That's the best video on the internet. I swear to God.
Micah is going to hell, everybody. If that actually exists, he'll be there.
So good and tasty.
If hell is a real place, Michael will be the bartender. Alright, so we got our CPU shield off. Let's go ahead and take a look at here. The coil doesn't actually look bad. It's swollen. It's bulged up in the top. The diode is brown and there's a solder ball on the end of it there, so that's no good. There's a solder ball right there on that cap. So this cap is probably our bad cap here. Actually, you all can't see that. Right here, you can barely see it. You see that tiny little solder ball right there? That's probably our cap that's faulty. You can see here there's a solder ball right there. I've disconnected it now. The diode's probably fucked. And if you look at the top of the coil, it's got a bulge right here. Like it's pushed up a little bit. So coil's gonna go. So that's probably our issue there. So cap, diode, and coil. Tutorial as in how to use it, I have one on my channel. What do you want to know? I can kind of teach you something here. Alright, so first things first, we're going to get rid of this coil. Because removing the coil kind of opens up the area for us to work on that diode too. Let's let that get up to temperature. Welcome, George. Thanks for the words of encouragement. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're learning something from it. That's the ultimate goal here. Alright, so we're just going to bust this coil up. Just getting rid of the major parts of it, and then get down to the legs is where we want to be. So we can desolder these. Okay. Let's go ahead and add some flux and some solder. What's up, D&M? Long time. If you have any questions, Jerry, just ask. I'll be happy to help you if I can. Alright, so we got our legs off. Now we need to just clean up the excess from the coil that was left over. Alright, it's cleaned up. Let's wash that out with some alcohol. Okay, we got a little bit of the coil remnants left over right here in this corner. I want to try to clear most of this out. That way when we place our new coil, we don't have to worry about much. Alright, so let's take this diode off. Okay, diode's off. Let's clean up again. Okay. I'm going to do just a little bit of excavation around this diode area, just to give myself some room to work. Okay, clear it out a little bit now. Alright, so with the diode and the coil removed, we're going to check. This should still be shorted. Nothing there should have removed this short. So we'll open up the end of the cap, which is the positive side. So you can see it's still shorted, measuring the ground there. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can break this cap out of here. Okay, that cap is out. Now let's retest this and see. There you go. The short is now gone. And if we go back and we test that cap, if I didn't lose it, which I probably did. Yeah, I think I lost the cap already. Well, anyway, our short's gone. That was the issue. That cap was faulty. So now we will go ahead and take our iron again. I want to clean up some of this underfill to give us enough working room here. Okay. And we'll put a little flux down in here and then add some leaded solder. So when we put our new cap on, it's much easier. Okay, got some leaded solder now on those pads. That's going to make placing the new capacitor easier, and that's really what you want to do around the CPU. You want to make everything easy as possible. Lower working times are better. Okay, got all our components we need. I'm going to start off by placing my cap, and before we start, we need to place some flux on top of the CPU to help transfer heat, and the evaporation will help keep it cool. And then we need to add a little bit of flux here. We already have some there, so not much needed. Place our new capacitor down in place. Come in with our heat. With the leaded solder being a lower melting temperature, that cap should fall into place before anything else melts. So that should help prevent you from causing any shorts underneath a chip or something. Alright, it melted. I'll try to straighten it just a little bit. Okay, it's straightened up. Release it. Sorry, it's a little out of focus for you all. Alright, so now we can remove our coins. We will test our backlight for shorts. No short, so this is ground. This is the positive output side of backlight. There's no short there. And in diode reading, that should be about 0.5 something or 0.6. So we'll meter that. With it being warm, it may be lower. It's 0.57 right now, so that's exactly where it should be. Alright, now we need to place our diode and our coil. So we'll come over here. We need to place our diode in the correct orientation. If we don't, it won't work. So whenever you look at a diode, it has a little line on one end. Imagine that line is kind of like a check valve. So on the side that doesn't have the line, power can flow through this way. But when it tries to come back and it hits this line, that's like a check valve and stops it from moving. So if you need to know which way is which, your diode on a backlight circuit will always have the check valve side pointed towards the output. Because if it didn't have that check valve pointed towards the output, it wouldn't be able to stop the voltage from leaking back into the system. And if you want to learn on how those backlight work, you can look up what they call a DC to DC boost converter. And in a DC to DC boost converter, it takes a lower voltage and pulses it through a coil and diode to create a higher voltage. And that it pulses that electricity at a very high rate to increase its capacity. Well, not capacity, because it actually will lower the amperage, but it increases the voltage. When you do a step down, you actually can increase the working amperage and lower the voltage itself. Okay, so we'll clean that up. Blow it off here. Alright, let's take a look at it. We got our new coil in place, our new diode, and our new cap. We should no longer have a short, which we do not. We'll check it again just to make sure, but there should be no short on output. Yeah, we have no short. We can check continuity from here to here. So we're good all the way to the connector, and there is no short. Alright, so let's check and see what kind of voltage this thing pulls when I plug it in now. I doubt we'll have a high amp draw like we were having. And I bet we'll be able to see that backlight come on. Can you hear some water?
Yeah. Where's the thing?
It should be in the cabinet. Alright, so let's see what happens here. We still have a kind of high amp draw right now. So we could have a bad IC here. We'll find out here in a second if that diode fries.
Oh man, water. Oh man.
We have backlight now. You can see the Apple logo. Doesn't look like it fried it or anything. Well, now the amp draw is gone. Let's try booting it back up again. Yeah, the amp draw is gone and we now have backlight. So So we were pulling about 70 milliamps with the leads plugged in. Now we're pulling 20, which is technically 0 because the LED on the leads pulls 20 milliamps. So we're going to let that one boot up. I will pull the microscope out of the way some here so you all can see this better. Blackfish. I honestly don't use Blackfish because it's not reliable. Alright, so touch works. Everything's good on this thing. That is a win. So this was a backlight repair. That is successful. We'll put our shield back over this. Our CPU heat shield, EMI shield, whatever you want to call it. Running, it looks for administrator. Are you not an admin on your account? Blackfish, honestly, I don't like it. It's the same PDFs that you can find online. I guess it's convenient because they're in one spot, but at the same time, I don't find it as convenient. Because can you keep it open at the same time as the XW? Does anybody know? Okay, got that side done.
Hello?
Okay, shield is back on.
At 12. Yeah.
Let's put this back in its frame. We'll move on to the next one.
Okay. Well, the maroon ones were fine. I liked them in the picture that you sent. What is it, a shoe store for little baby feet?
What is this? A school for midgets? How are they even going to get in the door?
Yeah, that's fine.
It says ants,
Alright.
but
Alright.
Arby's is noisy as fuck. What? For me, Blackfish has never been a part of ZXW that I really used. I've opened it once or twice, but you can find pretty much any PDF for these phones online. You just gotta search. Yours have no schematics there? I've never used Blackfish. Most of the time it doesn't work for me. Every now and then I can open it up, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time it says it doesn't even exist or crashes. I don't bother with it. Like I said, I download all my PDFs online. If you just search like iPhone 6 schematic or something, it'll come up with a fucking link and you can find them for free. If you can't find it for free, which you should be able to find all iPhones for free, but if you can't, you can buy it from other sites. I mean, I've had to do that with MacBook stuff early on. Now so much you can find pretty much anything for free, but early on, most of the MacBook stuff that I could find, it was hard to find free stuff. Until I joined like a forum that had a resource area. It was hard to find schematics for some stuff. Deep fire's beeping. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, so let's plug in our antenna. It's gonna drive me nuts because it's out of focus. Makes my eyes hurt when that happens. Alright, let's put our screen back on. And this type of job for a business is a $80 job. For a individual walking in, it's a $20 job. We give 20% off for most stuff to businesses. We're already pretty low, so that 20% off should give you ample room to make money. Sometimes, if we have to replace the IC, we do it for $125 for customers and $100 for businesses. If you ever have a company tell you that you charge too much, then tell them that they should do the work and find out how much of a pain in the ass it is to learn. Some of this stuff is easy, but some of this stuff is a nightmare. What's up, Paul? Mr. Daniels actually sent me question marks, which means she asked me a question and I didn't see it. So now I'm in trouble. It's crazy to me, like the work that I do now. When I first started out, to me, doing a PMIC or doing a baseband was just fucking witchcraft. Now my goal is set on CPU stuff. I got a few boards in, actually whole phones that are working. They're just iCloud locked. Since they're iCloud locked, I'm going to try to do CPU reballs on them. There's a couple 6s, like a 6S and some other shit, so I would like to, at the end of this year, I would like to be able to do at least one CPU reball. That's one of my goals. I think it'll open up a lot more repair opportunities if I can get that down. Alright, so we're going to wait this. It's charging now. We have backlights pulling an amp, which is normal. What's up, Johnny? Finish nights are wrecking me. You talking about work that you're doing for customers? Alright, so we're going to let that charge and we'll continue on through the box of goodies here. We've got a iPhone 6 Plus, maybe 6S Plus. Let's see. 6S Plus, blacking out randomly, not bad screen. Blacking out randomly. Not bad screen. Okay, so it has backlight only right now. The phone is on, but it has backlight only. So let's see if maybe there is a voltage line down or maybe a data line down. The 6S series does have common problems with the LCD voltage lines having problems. I don't think I've ever seen. Usually though, when the LCM goes down, the backlight doesn't work. So this could be a data line issue with the LCD itself. It could very well be maybe a NAND problem or software issue. We'll have to see here. What's up, World Tech? Why have you had problems going to sleep? Do you have insomnia?
What?
Talking to Paul.
They was talking to me. I was like, yeah, I do.
Do you have insomnia?
Every now and then, yeah. I used to have it real bad whenever I was a teenager.
Yeah. I rarely have problems going to sleep. Every now and then, but not very often. Not a screen issue. Rehot CPU bro, 1000% fix. It's probably true. If I just rehot it, it'll be okay. I've got a MacBook here. It's a Retina. 2013, I think. It has, let's see if this thing will boot back up with the image. Nope, still no image. Alright, so I unplugged the battery and plugged it back in. I still have no image on boot, so I'm going to guess that this is a LCD power problem. The 6S is more common than the 6S Plus, but doesn't mean that the 6S Plus doesn't have the same problems. I wouldn't think that this would be a 5v7 problem. I would guess this would be a 1v8 issue. Or, like I said, a data line issue. Those would be my two guesses. Just based on how these phones act. When the main LCD power is down, there's no signal to tell the phone, hey, the screen's plugged in, you should turn backlight on. That's why I don't think it's 5v7 related. Alright, so let's do some testing here. I'm going to switch over to the schematic view so you all can see that and see what I'm poking around at here. Pretty much what I show you on the screen here is what I'm going to be metering. So this should be 1v8. That's touch though. We don't want touch. That's touch also. Hiccups. That's LCD power. That's the 5v7 though. There's the 1v8 LCM. So let's check and see if that's there. That's going to be our main concern right now. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out some of this underfill. Alright, so the filter's good. Let's see if we have a ground short on 1v8 though. Fourth pin up. There's no ground short. Okay. So I don't think this is a 1v8 issue based on those assessments. I'm going to move down here to the LCD data line filters. These are all data line filters here. They're just coils inside of a smaller package. There's two coils on each side. So if you look, this side goes to this side, which goes to the connector. This side goes to this side, which goes to the connector. And it's the same with all of them. Those are data line chokes. They kind of knock down any type of noise interference going across those lines. So I'm just going to put a little heat on the board to knock this underfill loose. And then we're going to go in and measure all these filters and see if one of them is faulty. Let me get this cleaned out and I'll switch back over to the view of the microscope camera so we can run down through these and test all these. All the tests to these. This very well could be just the FPC has been stretched out some. I've seen that before. The FPC can get pushed from the sides and kind of bend the plastic, which creates a gap where the connection isn't as strong. And I've seen some that have no image just because of that. Also, you might be asking, well, maybe the backlight only was DFU mode. If it was DFU mode, it shouldn't have reacted to the power button when I turned it on off, which it did. It acted like the screen would normally react if you were just turning the power on and off to the screen with the power button. In DFU mode, it'll be backlight only, and it will stay backlight only. Alright, so we've got our filters cleaned out around them for somewhat. It's not perfect. Not trying to be, I just need to test it. These chokes can go bad randomly. I haven't seen any rhyme or reason why it happens, they just do. So let's go down the line here. These should all read about the same. So that was 2.5 ohms. That's 2.5 ohms. That one is 2.9 and falling, so that's normal. 2.9 and falling, normal. 2.4. 2.4, 2.5, 1.8. So is my resistance and my leads just falling? Yeah, my lead resistance is falling. So it's now down to 2 ohms immediately. Okay, so I'm getting no continuity rate. Oh, there it is. 2.5. See if I can get in here and read this one. 2.4. Okay, so all our filters check out. Let's check for ground resistance across these. Let's see if one of our lines is grounded out. We'll do this in diode mode. We'll go down the list here. 0.3. So 0.34, 0.34, 0, which is ground, 0.34, 0.34, 0, 34, 34, 0, 324, 324, 0, 34, 34. Okay, so we don't have any shorts either. So what I'm going to do is just go down this connector and just kind of squeeze it. Not too hard, just enough to kind of push it in just a little. So sometimes those can get stretched out and cause a issue with no image. Let's go ahead and hook up our screen again and see what happens. This could be a chestnut problem, but it would be really odd if it was. We'll do it with no front camera plugged in. Let's see if maybe prox or something is causing issues. Okay, so we still have no image, backlight only. Alright, I'm going to grab a different screen just to confirm that it isn't the screen. Check the LCM reset line if it's grounded. If the LCM reset was grounded, we wouldn't have backlight either, I don't think. I'll check it, but normally if there's no LCM power being made, which the LCM reset line is required for, you won't have any backlight. But we'll check it just to make sure and rule it out. See if we can find it here. LCM to OWL. AP LCM reset. Okay. So it's fourth up on the bottom right. So I'll put it back in continuity mode. So it's fourth pin. It's not shorted. So our LCM pins or reset pins are fine. Let's check our LCM negative one. Maybe the negative line is missing. Maybe we got a bad filter or something. Should be right there. Let's see if that filter is good. That filter is good. Let's see if it's grounded. It's not grounded. None of those are grounded. Let's see if any of our backlights are grounded. I wouldn't think so. It wouldn't make any sense if they were. Let me check for ground continuity down here. I think there's one pin towards the end here. Yeah, there it is. There shouldn't be much ground there. There's ground all over the place up here. Alright, so let me grab a screen and just rule that out. Sounds like our iPhone 6 that had backlight issues is now on. Excuse me? Kenna?
Excuse him, Kenna.
Excuse me, Ken.
Alright, Chris, I'm gonna head out. Huh? It's 7. Here's the
Busyness. Stay the fuck up out my busyness.
Busyness.
Alright, so as soon as we get this one figured out, we are going to leave too then. Alright. Got our new screen plugged in. Let's see. Still backlight on. Well, this is an odd one. This is an odd one. So let's check. Let's press on the CPU while it tries to boot and see if we get image. If we do, we've got a GPU line issue. If any of the
internet friends.
So I'm going to press on the CPU GPU combo here. Do we get backlight yet? Yeah, backlight's on. Try it again. Press on the CPU.
See you, Chris.
Later. Still nothing. I think the LCM lines are on the front end of the CPU, so we're going to press there. Still nothing. Let's see if this phone is going into DFU mode or not. I don't know them inside now, but I know quite a bit about them. Alright, so it's not going into DFU because I plugged it in and it's booting up is what it's doing. The Mason line? Why would the touch line cause that, Alex? We'll check the Mason line. I don't think it beeped short, but we'll check it. I think it was the first one. No, it's 1VA touch. Can I quit? Stop. 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 Go. Go lay down. Swear. About this time of day, she turns into this weirdo that has to be in my lap. And she sits there and digs her claws in my leg. Then if you touch her, she acts like you're destroying her. The Mason line's 1.4 volt drop to ground in diode, which based on the schematics is about right. What's up, Rico? I'm gonna run down through these diode test readings, but everything seems to be normal. 1V8 touch seems a little low. It's like 0.3. Says it should be about 0.4. Although these are all a little low compared to their readings, so that's probably about right. I don't know, man. Everything seems fine. PP5V7. I can try to check it here, but based on what I can tell, the 5V7 line should be working since the LCD is lighting up. I don't know how I'm going to be able to meter it, though. It's the only problem. Chestnut's on the back, so I could try to pull the LCD forward and meter in behind it, maybe. Error, fine now? Alright. One thing I will do, and sometimes I don't know what it does, but I may just run down through here and reflow all these filters. I've had some that had no image, and by reflowing those, it fixed it. I don't know if there was a connection problem or what, but I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm thinking about it. If we can do it without destroying the connector here. The 6S has quite a bit less space working around the FVC as the 6 does. I'm gonna end up burning everything up if I'm not careful. The FVCs are pretty forgiving though. I mean, you can fuck with them quite a bit and still be okay. Backlight only, yeah. Yep, this is a backlight only phone. I've rolled out a lot of the common things. Let me see if I can sneak in here with a stripped down LCD and see if I can meter that 5V7 line. Maybe. I don't know if I can get in behind that connector or not. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's see what it does after the reflow. Actually, we need to hook up our power button first. Huh, look at that. Reflowed the fucking filters and it's working. So that's what I'm saying. I've done that a few times and it's worked. I'm surprised it worked again. Oh, it cut out. So it could very well be a CPU problem. Let's see if I can press something and get it to come back. Yep, it's a GPU problem. I just pressed on the GPU and it flashed the image on the screen for a second. So, there you go. See, I'm pressing on the GPU right now. I'll let go. Watch, it'll fade out here in a second. Let me see if I can tap on it to get it to go away. Yeah, like when I press on the GPU, it starts to flicker. You see it? See it flickering there? So, yep, there it goes. It's fading out completely now. Like the image faded out. Now there's no image when I press the power button. If I press on the GPU here, see if I can get it to work again. Yeah, there it goes. I pressed on it. It's working again. So, rehot CPU, bro. Yeah, that is the solution for this one. So, we won't be doing rehot CPU, bro, unless they want me to. I could try it. Not rehot, reball, but... So, based on that, this one's going to go to the possibly no fix file. And that's probably going to end our stream. I'm going to head home. Actually, I'm going to run that note before I leave. I'm going to end stream, but before I leave, I'm going to run this note through the ultrasonic to see if it'll read SIM cards again. It looks like it's got some corrosion just at the very top of the board. So we'll see if that's working. But anyway, put it in a pizza oven. No, I'm good. But anyway, I will see you all later. Have a good night. And I'll be on tomorrow. We'll probably get slammed with fucking mailing stuff. So everybody check me out tomorrow. I appreciate everybody that joins the streams. We average about 50, 60 people, which is awesome. Thanks to everybody that watches. Have a good night, good day, whatever time it is for you. I will see you all later. Bye.